What's up, comic book community? My name is Joe, and this is 360 Comics. It was raining this weekend, so I wasn't able to hit up any flea markets or yard sales, but there was a small convention in New Jersey on Saturday, so I headed over there in the morning to check it out. Let's see what I got. If you want to support the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. That'll also enter you to win our weekly giveaway prize, which is Action Comics #1, the 50th anniversary reprint. Definitely check out our other videos for additional chances to win, and make sure you ring that bell for notifications so you know when new videos are coming. Good luck! The event that I went to Saturday is hosted by a couple of New Jersey comic book dealers, and from what I gather, they use this event to purge a lot of their lower value comic book backstock right before the big convention season. You know, New York Comic Con's coming up this coming weekend, Baltimore Comic Con's at the end of the month, so I think this is their opportunity to get rid of some of the lower value stuff. There were tons and tons of dollar bins, $2 bins, and $3 bins, and of course they had some higher value stuff there as well. But yeah, I only really dug around in the lower value stuff because I only had a little bit of time. I got some great stuff just like I did last year at this event, so let's get into it, starting off with Youngblood number 2. Youngblood number 2. This is the first appearance of Prophet, and we are apparently getting a Prophet movie, I believe starring and directed by Jake Gyllenhaal, if I remember correctly. We haven't got news on it in a while. This book went up to like $20, $25 last year. It has since come down, but I think picking it up for, you know, between $1 and $2 is still really, really good. You know, with the potential of that movie actually being made and possibly even being good. There wasn't just one copy, there was two. So I grabbed them, you know, it seemed like a good idea. Moving on to some DC stuff, we've got the New 52, the Free Comic Book Day book. This is the first appearance of Simon Baz, and this is a hard book to get in high grade, which luckily this one is. Reason being, it's hard to get in high grade. The number one thing is a lot of stores back at this time in 2011 used to stamp the store stamp on the Free Comic Book Day books, which is originally what this box was for. Most stores have stopped doing so because people want their books in better condition, and it wasn't worth, you know, making people not want to go to the Free Comic Book Day at said store. You know, it wasn't worth like the free publicity they got by, you know, the stamp on the book. But, you know, fortunately, some stores did not stamp them. This one was not stamped, and yeah, this is a tougher book to get in that higher grade. Then we've got Green Lantern 81, The Death of Hal Jordan. I have actually never come across this cover in the wild. There are two covers to this book. The normal one that I usually see has like a tombstone background with the Green Lantern emblem, and it's foil and embossed and all that 90s gimmick stuff. This one is just like a standard cover. In my opinion, I like this cover a lot better, and I think it is probably harder to find because the other one had, you know, all those gimmick things about it. Then we've got The Flash Rebirth #1. This is a great Flash story. This is the return of Barry Allen as Flash, I believe. Maybe I'm mixing this up with something. I'm pretty sure this is when Barry Allen comes back as Flash for the first time since Crisis on Infinite Earth when he dies. Then we got Brightest Day #14. This is where Batman becomes a White Lantern. Really great Batman cover as well. Almost looks like an Alex Ross cover, but I don't think it is. It's a Finch cover, actually. That is kind of surprising. Looks really, really cool. Some more Batman now. We got Batman #457. First appearance of Tim Drake in his classic Robin costume. This is also the misprinted version. It's really about half the print run, maybe even more than half the print run, so it's not super rare of a misprint, but on the indicia, on the inside of the book, instead of saying, you know, issue number 457, it says 000. So just something to look out for if you collect little misprints like that. Then we got Batman #50, the wedding issue, and the same book, variant cover. You know, I always pick these up because they sell very well. Batman stuff sells very decently, and I collect it myself as well. This is one of my favorite covers of all time. First cameo appearance of Miracle Molly, Batman #106. Amazing, amazing, amazing cover. I have this book in a 9.8, signed by James Tynion. That is in my personal collection. This one will probably be up for grabs. Then we've got Batman number 13 from the New 52 run, part of the Death in the Family, the second Death in the Family run. Great Joker cover, die cut, all that stuff. And this has, all the New 52 Bat character books had this, a version of this Joker cover. Then we got Batman Annual number 2 from the Rebirth run. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first appearance of Helena Wayne, I think. I might be wrong about that. I know it is a key for sure. I do forget which one, though. And then we got Batman and Robin number 1, the first Damian Wayne, Batman Robin kind of thing. Really great run for reading purposes. And in my opinion, this is a really, really cool cover with that yellow background. Not just one copy, but I grabbed 2 of those. And that takes us to the end of the DC stuff, but let's get into the Marvel books next. There were more Marvel than anything else. Now, this book is interesting. This is Wolverine number 131. This is the first printing. Most of the time you find this book, you're going to find the second printing. Easiest way to tell without opening the book, you look at the barcode. This barcode says 13111, as in 131, issue 131, first printing, cover A. Now, cover A comes first and then first printing. The second printing of this is going to say 131 for the issue, 1 for cover A, and then a 2 for the second printing. It's going to end in 2. This one ends in 1 and is much more rare because it was recalled. There are some inappropriate words, we'll call them, slurs in this book that were removed on the second printing. And for that reason, this book has become a lot more rare. People collect those, recalled books, misprint books, and stuff like that. The second printing of this, really not worth very much, $1 or $2. You can find them in dollar bins. This one sells for about $15 or $20, so always look out for it, for sure. Then we got Iron Man 170, first appearance of Rhodey in the Iron Man costume. Definitely very relevant with Armor Wars coming up. Then we got Totally Awesome Hulk number 21, and this is just such a cool cover. This might be like a cameo appearance of Weapon H. I'm not sure. Actually, I didn't check Key Collector. I know 22 is the first appearance of Weapon H, and judging by this cover, this might be a cameo appearance. I just grabbed this, didn't even look it up, so I'm going to have to check that and see if that is, in fact, a cameo appearance. Certainly, the cover alludes to it. Then we got Squadron Supreme number 1. A lot of speculation about the Squadron showing up in the MCU. Maybe Loki season 2. We'll see about that. Then we got Despicable Deadpool number 287. Check out this homage cover. It homages one of the biggest books of the Bronze Age, Amazing Spider-Man 129, first appearance of Punisher, but instead of Punisher, we've got Deadpool, and instead of Spider-Man in his sight, we've got Cable. These two going at it all the time. Definitely really cool, and good timing on this one because Deadpool's coming to the MCU. Then we got White Tiger number 1. I've been looking for this book forever. Not only is it, cool story and everything like that, first appearance of this character, but it's also a David Mack cover. I love David Mack's artwork. In fact, he is one of my favorite cover artists of the modern age. I try to grab a lot of his stuff, even if it's not really something that I necessarily collect. A couple videos ago, you saw me buy a Vampirella book that was a David Mack cover. I don't really collect Vampirella at all, but I had to grab that. So definitely picked this one up. This one I've been looking for, and first time I found it for a really good price. Then we got Thor Annual number 12, and I believe this is the first appearance of Thor's brother? Yeah, like Thor's half brother or something like that. Not a character I really think is gonna come to the MCU or anything like that, but still a cool Bronze Age Thor key. Then we got Cloak and Dagger number 1 from their first mini series. This is their first solo series in general. these guys, they have been in the Netflix version of the MCU, have not made it to the greater MCU yet, but we'll see. Maybe that'll happen at some point. Then we got Uncanny X-Men number 191, first appearance of Nimrod. I almost forgot his name. Nimrod is a Sentinel from the future, and given that we have, you know, time travel, multiverse, all that stuff, definitely a character that I would love to see on the screen. Probably won't be for a while, though, but this is a book that I've talked about in my spec videos, for sure. This book keeps popping up for me. I have found a couple copies recently for a great price. Uncanny X-Men number 390, The Death of Colossus. Great cover. Great key significance, you know, obviously a super important X-Men character dating all the way back to Giant Size X-Men number 1. And if I can get this book for a buck or two, I'm always going to pick it up. Then we got Nightcrawler number 1, my personal favorite comic book character ever, my favorite mutant, my favorite X-Men. I have this already myself, but, you know, I know there's a lot of X-Men and specifically Nightcrawler lovers out there, so had to pick this one up for a great price. Then we got Spider-Man number 37. This is the, which book number? 12. The 12th book of the Maximum Carnage run, 12 out of 14, and I will always pick any Maximum Carnage book up if it's a buck or two, just because, you know, the set sells for significantly more, you know, together, and each book individually sells pretty well for between $5 and $10. Some of them for even more, depending on other key significances. Next up, we've got Spider-Man Annual number 14. Great cover featuring Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, and you know, anytime I can get Amazing Spider-Man stuff for reasonably cheap, it's worth picking up, especially stuff from, what, early 80s? 1980, yeah. So this was, you know, some later Bronze Age stuff. Then we've got a book you saw in the beginning, Moon Knight number 1, the Scotty Young variant. Moon Knight's popular. This run is really good. Scotty Young's popular. I couldn't help but pick up 2 for less than cover price. Easy buy. Same thing with this next book. We've got The Amazing Spider-Man number 75, and another one of my favorite modern cover artists. This one is Patrick Gleason, and he did tons of different covers. In fact, just yesterday I was wearing my Gleason Amazing Spider-Man 55 shirt. This is issue 75 from that same run. I believe this was the first Chasm, if I remember correctly, and a book that I really, really love the cover for. Not only did I pick up 1, I've got 2. And you know what? I'm not even going to put them all up because there's quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So that's a total of 6 copies of this book for less than $2 a piece. Easy buy, in my opinion. Definitely had to grab them, you know, for future sales or, you know, just for myself to hoard that book. Then we got The Amazing Spider-Man number 15. This has a phenomenal cover, in my opinion, with Mary Jane as the Iron Spider. I actually don't know who does the cover on this. This is an amazing cover, and I'm not sure who it is. Once again, it's kind of in the style of Alex Ross, but I'm not sure if it is. If you know who does this cover, leave it in the comments below so I can figure it out. And not just 1, but 2 copies of this book. Multiples of this next one as well, and this one is a hot book that's only getting hotter, in my opinion. Star Wars Darth Vader, number 4. This is the second appearance of Dr. Aphra, and it's the second appearance of Black Krrsantan. So it's a double key, double second appearance, and honestly, the first appearance of Dr. Aphra is a very expensive book at this point, especially in high grade, so a lot of people are hopping on that second appearance. It's also part of a Darth Vader run that a lot of people collect because there's a ton of first appearances and a really great storyline, so we're going to have to wait and see if this book continues to climb like it has been. It's been doing very well. Sells for about $15. You know, I've actually sold a couple in claim sales recently for $15, so picking it up for less than 2 all day for sure. And like I said, it wasn't just 1 copy, it wasn't just 2, there were 3 of them in there. There were actually 2 of them were together, and then there was 1 in a totally different box. Then we've got, oh, here we go, Marvel Premiere number 35, Bronze Age first appearance. It's a minor character, it's 3D Man, but very surprised to find 2 nicer copies in the $2 bins. Easy pickup again. In fact, one of these I just sold in a claim sale Couple weeks ago. This is definitely a character that people will buy, even though it's a minor character. You don't know who's going to show up. We just got, what, Porcupine, Manbull, and El Aguilar, and I mean, we just got a bunch of like random characters in She-Hulk. So could 3D Man show up? Absolutely, certainly, without a doubt, possible. Moving on, that was all the books from the $2 bins. Like I said, these next books, you'll see there's prices on all of them. This one being $10. That is not the price I paid. In fact, these were in boxes that were listed as $3 per book, or 4 books for $10. So if you bought in chunks of 4, that means they're $2.50 a book. This one marked at 10, worth at least 10 in my opinion. Marked at $2.50. How am I not going to take advantage of this and just buy a ton? And I did, not a ton, but enough. This is Witches number 2, the Phantom variant cover. For those who've watched the channel for a while, I talk about this run all the time because it is my favorite independent comic book run of all time. Scott Snyder, with Jock artwork, absolutely amazing read. Go check it out if you haven't yet, and really easy collect because there's only 6 issues and a one-shot so far. There likely will be volume number 2 coming out apparently this month, but I haven't heard any news about it. So anyway, let's move on from that. I paid $2.50 a piece on these books. This one, not sure what it was doing in there because this book sells for quite a bit more than even the $10 that's on it. Convergence Superman number 2. This is the first appearance of Jonathan Kent, the son of Clark Kent, as a baby. First, he's born in this issue. He later becomes Superman in the current Superman Son of Kal-El run. Speaking of Superman, we've got Superman number 75, Death of Superman. Easy pickup for that $2.50. That was like, what, close to cover price at that time in 1993. What was cover price? $1.25. So yeah, half or twice cover price, but nonetheless, still a great pickup. This next one I actually bought because recently I bought a collection that had Blackest Night 0 through 6 and number 8. And it's a 9-issue run if you include the 0. It was only missing this book, so I finally found it. I've been looking for it in dollar bins, haven't been able to find it. I figured $2.50, yeah, that's fine. Let's have that complete run. And that'll be available in my next claim sale now that I actually have this run complete. Next is 52, week 9, issue number 9 of 52. And this is one of the first cameo appearances of Kate Kane. Kate Kane? Yes, Kate Kane. I mix up all the Kanes all the time. We got Betty, Cassandra, Kate. Ugh, it boggles my brain, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this being Kate Kane. Easy, this book's easily like a $10 book, so for $2.50, no problem. This next one, Green Lantern number 50. This is the first appearance of Parallax and part of the Emerald Twilight run. All 4 books in the Emerald Twilight run are great to have, and there wasn't just 1 copy, but again, there were 2. Then we've got a couple Marvel books as well. This is the facsimile reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 101, first appearance of Morbius. The Thor number 1, God of Thunder. This is the run that the Love and Thunder movie was recently based off of. And I'm just noticing something, guys. This book has been selling for like $10, $15, even $20 at its height. But I just realized this is the Halloween Comic Fest version. This one is probably not quite as desirable, so I might have made a mistake on picking that up. That's why you gotta not go quickly. I was rushing. I really only had a little bit of time because my cousin was getting married later that day. So yeah, I might have been rushing a little bit and missed that. Speaking of Patrick Gleason, which we did earlier, this is another one of those phenomenal Gleason webhead covers. Amazing Spider-Man number 1, and this is the Queen Goblin variant cover. Really, really like the introduction of this character, and this just looks absolutely amazing. I'm trying to collect all the Gleason books, specifically in 9/8. So I might end up sending 1 or 2 of these in because I do not have a 9/8 of this book yet. And guess what? There was 1, 2, 3 of them in there. And then this last book, well, not last book. This is the last book in this bunch. I got for free. This was in a dollar bin, but, you know, it's got a piece missing. And I asked for it to be thrown in for free with the rest of these, and they said yes. There's a guy who buys from me at Claim Sales. He's always asking me for Witching Hour stuff. So I just grabbed this to just throw in his next order. I'm not even going to tell him. Hopefully he doesn't watch this video and know ahead of time. Yeah, this is going in his next box, just going to him for free. It didn't cost me anything or anything like that, but figured it'd be nice to pick up and throw in for him. I don't know if he needs this issue, and it's, of course, got a big clipping out of it, so I'm just giving it away. Anyway, one more book for you guys. One more, and it is the only one that I really spent, you know, actual money on. All of that stuff that I showed you so far, $2 and $2.50. I think the total of what I showed so far was $100, give or take, and there's like almost 100 books there. You know, certainly more than 50 books. Check this out. Boom. And this is a hard book to find in or hard book to what's it called? Show without a glare. But I'm going to hold it like this so you can see it without a glare. 9.8, as you can see, white pages, Amazing Spider-Man 75, Patrick Gleason variant cover. Look at that. I showed a couple of these raw earlier. I did not have this one. This is one of the few Gleason books that I don't have in a 9.8, so I needed to add this to my collection. Guess what? The guy had a sign that says, "Make an offer," on a bunch of slabs, bunch of lower value slabs he was trying to get rid of. I walked up. The last sale was $42. A couple of the other recent sales were like $50, $55. I walked up with two 20s in my hand. I said, "Would you take $40 for this?" And he said yes. So I got a great deal. I think, you know, the price to slab a book at this point is about $30. So I barely paid more than the slab price. Didn't have to wait or anything like that. So definitely a great pickup for the personal collection in that sense. And there is no good way to hold this without, like, there's like light over there, computer screen. You can see me in the screen. Hi. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, hope you guys like this haul. It was a lower value, certainly, than a lot of the normal stuff that I do. But, you know, this was just a good little, you know, way to stock up on some stuff for Claim Sales, get stuff for my personal collection that's pretty cheap. And I had a good time. Saw some people from the community that I know, and of course met some new people, which is always nice. Please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, notifications, follow on Instagram. We do Claim Sales once or twice a week there. And yeah, until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.